Let's rock this joint!
Welcome back to, after a long hiatus, to Informed Nostalgia. Of course, I'm here with Sam Levy,
Hi, Garrison Nichols.
and we're here to wish you happy Halloween and to talk about something that dropped today. So we were originally going to talk about, and we're still going to talk about, movies that remind us of Halloween and get us in the Halloween spirit. But a certain trailer dropped tonight that has put me in the horror movie Halloween spirit, and I kind of want to talk about what do we think about the Scream 7 trailer.
All right, so I thought it was fine. I thought it was perfectly fine. Um, I think it. Because I mean, like we've been talked about this before. For most of the hype around it, I have just been like really not anticipating it at all. I've been just I'm done. I'm done with the franchise. I thought six was a low. I know you disagree. That's fine. Like I didn't need anything. Like I didn't need anything more from this franchise. And then the trailer dropped today, and I looked at the set pieces. I was like, okay, this looks reasonably solid. Kevin Williamson's direction seems to have improved a lot. It looks suspenseful. It looks tight. I really liked Sydney just calling Ghostface an asshole, hiding behind a voice changer. I thought that was nice. The only thing that frustrated me about the trailer was, and I don't like saying this because it's using a positive, what it seems to be positive, like as a negative, because it looks really clean. Like the editing looks clean, like the staging looks really well composed and shot. Everything looks great, but because of that, there were a couple of moments where some major character deaths got spoiled, and unlike in previous trailers where it was just like a split second, this one like lingered on long enough that you could tell what was happening. And I was just like, oh, well, great. Now I know that that's happening. So I wish they hadn't done that. But aside from that, um, I was pleasantly surprised. How about you?
I I got really nervous when I saw it. Like I saw a post about it. I was at work and I was asking my coworkers, like, "You want to watch it?" Because this morning on the way to work, I saw the
Hmm.
the promo poster that I was like, "Why is this very Halloween Kills? I don't like this." Um, so I don't love the poster so far. I don't hate it. It's very modern. So I think again, it's a nostalgia podcast. I want something, and I like that Scream maybe is moving forward. I don't like that maybe it's borrowing from the current. But um, the trailer, I really enjoyed parts of it that feels like very meta. Like I guess like it's not a spoiler. Like the Stu's house is now it's a Airbnb on the in the movie, and you can really rent it now. So I think that that's
I was
kind of
like, which it is in real life anyway.
yes.
So
I like that environment. I'm kind of tired of Woodsboro, but I understand like this part of it. I really don't. The trailer itself, like to not, I don't want to break it down. I feel like it's going to be perfectly fine too. Like the trailer to me was a little too detailed, so I felt like I was getting too much. But I was like this. So, but the movie I face will not be a bad movie. I feel like it's going to be a good movie, but I have a fear that it's just going to be decent. But I am excited to be able to get Sydney, and she feels like Sydney because I felt Sydney from the total trailer. Like I felt like that was her. Um, so I am excited for that. I'm excited to see the movie. I just have a bad feel that it's just going to be okay, and I won't want to rewatch it a lot. And I've been getting that a lot from a lot of movies lately. That I really am craving for a movie that I want to rewatch, and I want it to be iconic for a season, like we're going to talk about today. So I'm still have my reservations, but I think it'd be a really good time.
Okay, I mean, well, based on the noises Scarlett's making, it sounds like she agrees with you. I think it's honestly, I think it's difficult to expect that any movie with the number seven at the end of it is going to be an all-out banger and like blaze any new trails. Um, but that being said, I'm just hopeful that it will be an entertaining time waster and that it won't suck. Which prior to this I wasn't. Now I think I'll actually might now I think I actually might enjoy it.
Well, I mean, you could have a different opinion. I think Halloween
Thank you.
H2O is a banger, and I watch it all the time. So this kind of gives me a feel of Halloween H2O,
I can see that.
except I'm not the younger generation it's appealing to now, so I don't know. Um,
How dare you?
I'm But I don't really think many horror movies are appealing to me right now, like they're at my age range. But how about let's get into how spooky season is? I mean, the way this comes out is today, and what are you gonna watch to get you into the Halloween mood?
Okay, so I actually wanted to use this time to talk about some spooky films that I love. Not necessarily like Halloween themed, but because they're suspenseful, I feel like it's a good time to watch them right now. It's not none of them is particularly holiday themed, but at least not yet. But I wanted to throw some love to some classic films that are generally regarded as good, but most people don't. I don't see them like being bantered about a lot or mentioned a lot in this discussion. So I just like to talk about those for a few minutes. Do you want to go back and forth, or should I do my list and you do yours? Like, what do you
Let's
want to
go
do?
for it. Let's name one. Like, I'll
I
talk
like
about.
that.
So I'll start. If you want to start, I'll do
I'll
like
start.
my 10th. Like, well, yeah, we'll start with like if your least, and then we'll move up to your number one movie that you're looking forward to watching this year.
Oh darn, I hadn't ranked them.
I didn't really rank them either, but I have like a most one that I'm gonna like an iconic one I'm gonna watch, and ones that I'm just gonna, you know.
Okay, okay. Well, that's awesome. I hadn't ranked them. Um,
We'll just do them one at
but
a time. That's fine.
Excellent. Okay, so I'll start off. So this first movie is called The Night of the Hunter. It's from 1955, and so first, I mean, give brief background. When it became clear that from a very young age that I like scary stuff, my parents were like, "That's kind of weird, but okay, we'll go with it." But instead of like watching all the gore fest, they wanted to introduce me to some older movies that were like maybe less like intensely graphically violent, but were still like suspenseful or spooky or stuff like that. And so I got into those at a young age. So that's just a precursor. So just so no surprises there because I want people, so anyway, moving right along. So just so you know how much I love old movies. So this one's called Night of the Hunter from 1955. It is the only movie directed by the renowned British actor Charles Laughton, and it is about um, a hardened criminal who is also a phony Christian preacher. And when he discovers that his cellmate in jail has robbed a decent sum of money, he learns everything he can about him and then proceeds to track down the man's family, ingratiates himself into their lives, and terrorizes them in his attempt to search for their money, the stolen money. And it is really a lot of scenes of him stalking the guy's kids and threatening them, first trying to sweet talk them, but then threatening them more openly. And in his attempt to find out where their father hid the money that he stole when he robbed the bank. And the movie, it's very dreamlike. It's almost like a fairy tale. There are lots of passages of him like chasing them across fields and across the river and stuff like that. I don't want to spoil too much for people who haven't seen it, but it's really, 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 it's really suspenseful. It's really well done.
That seems
Um,
extremely creepy. Like I
it is.
looking up now.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's really, really creepy. It stars Robert Mitchum. Robert Mitchum is the evil phony preacher. Shelley Winters is the kid's mom, and Lillian Gish, who was considered the first movie star because she was like the first silent movie actress who became a household name, is also in the movie. And I don't want to say anything else, but it is really, really delightfully creepy and suspenseful. It's great. No insane. Well, that actually there is some violence in it, but it's not graphic. It's 1955, so
Um,
so
that I actually want to check that out. Maybe I'll add it to my list to watch to get me in my like suspense horror movie Halloween mood.
oh good.
My first one I want to talk about is one that I love, and I can't wait to watch it again because I like. It's called Christy from 2014.
Hmm.
It's about a girl who she goes to this prestigious college and she's on scholarship. So all her friends are flying home for Thanksgiving and her boyfriend too. And he's like, "You come with me." And she feels really awkward because they're rich. So she's poor, or not poor, I shouldn't say, but she doesn't have extra money like that. So she stays behind and she's like one of the only ones left on campus. And she goes to, well, let me get, there is a killer online posting murders. It's a group of people and they stalk this girl who's like usually rich and pretty and popular and they call her Christy. So the name of the website's like Christy and they taunt her and murder and it's like a big thing that's going on. Well, she leaves campus and goes to a gas station to get food. It's Thanksgiving. And they spot her and they follow her back and they see it's like the prestigious college. So they stalk her alone on this campus and they don't realize that she grew up hard and she knows how to take care of herself. So it's like a cat and mouse thing all over campus and she's defending herself and setting traps, kind of like Home Alone and stuff, throughout the whole movie. And it's good. It has Ashley Greene in it. Haley Bennett is plays Christy, but her name's not Christy. Lucas Gable, he played in the X-Men movies, is in it. The cop from Sinister is one of the main characters in it too. Um, it's a great time. It's suspenseful as I don't know what. It's one of those movies that I love to rewatch. It's well done. The atmosphere is great. It's very, very creepy. It like uses the cell phone kind of like Scream. It didn't go to theaters, I don't think here. It came to it took a long time. It didn't really come out in 2014, but it's just a wonderful watch. Like I suggest you watch it. It goes under the radar, but sometimes it's on Netflix, sometimes it's on Hulu. I don't necessarily know what it's on now because I own it, but it's a great time.
Thank you for sharing that with me. I have never heard of this movie or anyone in it. And I guess I may be a little bit out of the loop on that, especially for somebody who loves horror movies as much as I do. So I really appreciate that. I'm going to go check that out as well. Um,
People like it, especially because it has a very like it feels very Scream-esque, like but not meta. It feels or maybe more of the original Know What You Did Last Summer feel with the suspense and like the funness and the good chase scenes and stuff.
okay. Okay. So this next movie that I'm selecting, I'm sure you are well aware of the classic called Fatal Attraction.
Hmm.
So, which became an iconic movie and was nominated for 6 Oscars. Um, well, 16 years before that, there was a movie called Play Misty for Me from 1971.
I've heard of this movies.
Yep. And I think that the plot of Fatal Attraction is almost a direct copy of this movie, except I actually think this is better. I think it's better. So the movie is stars and is directed by Clint Eastwood, and he is the guy, and he, you know, meets a woman and has a one night stand with her, but she turns out she's mentally unstable and becomes obsessed with him. And Fatal Attraction took place in New York. Play Misty for Me takes place in San Francisco. And the crazy lady is played by Jessica Walter. of Arrested Development fame.
What could it
Uh,
cost? $10?
yeah, exactly.
I love her so much.
Oh, she's amazing. No, she's hysterical. She's amazing. Um, get me a vodka rocks, mom, it's breakfast, and a piece of toast. Um, yeah, she's hysterical. She's hilarious. But this movie is really, yeah, this is a good one. It's a good shocker. It's suspenseful. It's sexy. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. And I think it's really, really well done. And I think it's a lot better than Fatal Attraction, actually. So that is my second recommendation for those of you out there watching. Play Misty for me, 1971.
I well you okay, play Misty for me. And what's the other one's name?
The Night of the Hunter.
Night of the Hunter. Okay.
Hmm.
I've never heard of these. Well, I have heard of the Play Misty for me, but it was on like another podcast, so I'm gonna have to watch that one. My next one is a really favorite. It's just one that's coming to mind. I absolutely love Ginger Snaps and the feel of. I love that movie, and it has that small town feel, and it is actually Halloween at the end of the movie, but it just has that spooky feel, and I also never get enough of those two. I actually love the sequel, Ginger Snaps Back. No, Ginger Snaps Unleashed. Ginger Snaps Back is the third one. It's easy to rewatch. The original is so good, and I get really sad at the end, but it's so much fun because I remember growing up in that time, and I mean they're very much they're older than I am in the movie, but of where you glamorize like I don't say anything about glamorizing like suicide or anything, but where you're like the macabre, like it was just like your whole personality. I remember that being an it thing, like the emotional, like the love the gothic era of emotion, like being different because it's very like the craft, very anti-establishment theme that was going on then. But I just love it because it's very practical effects and the
Hmm.
characters, even though the sister's horrible, Ginger, you just feel for her. Like it's just done very well. It made me really fall in love with Catherine Isabel. And I think it's Emily Perkins. Chris Lemichi from Final Destination 3 is in it. Mimi Rogers, who is married to Tom Cruise, is in it. Um,
Poor thing.
but it's just a great movie. Like it's really great because I mean the in the movie. Okay, I should talk about the movie is two sisters. There's this called the Beast of Bailey Downs that's haunting this town. Like it's a werewolf that's killing dogs. And there's these two sisters who do a project for school that like it's like suicide scenes. It's so random. Like they and it looks really realistic. Well, they have a suicide pact to kill themselves by 16 because it's a thing, but the younger sister doesn't really want to do it. But then there's this girl that makes fun of them and like pushes. There's some a dog gets murdered at the school and they don't find it, so she pushes her at PE into the dead body of the dog, and it gets all over her face and everybody laughs at her. So they plan a prank to kidnap her dog and use fake guts from this project to make it seem like it got killed because they want to get her back. Well, on their way to do that, they get attacked by the werewolf. And Ginger gets turned into a werewolf, and it's all about Ginger's turn into the werewolf, and the younger sister Bridget dealing with that aftermath and dealing with her sister becoming. And then of course it's the natural trope, the typical tropes. It's like Ginger feels sexy, Ginger's this, da 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 da. Like it has the slow motion walk down the hallway because Ginger people are wanting to be around Ginger. But it's great because she's trying to find a cure for her sister, even though her sister doesn't want one. It's a lot of horror thing. Like she kills a dog. Like it's very creepy. The practical effects of Ginger turning into a werewolf slowly is very creepy, and the actual werewolf itself is an animatronic that's hairless actually with just random hair on it, and um, it's just very well done, in my opinion. It's a Canadian movie. You can find it on Tubi for free. And I've already watched it this season, and I can't wait to watch Ginger Snaps 2 Unleash, which is fantastic too as well. But I suggest, especially if you're a Catherine Isabel fan who does a lot of unknown horror. She was in Freddy vs. Jason. She's in a lot of different things. But I suggest it's a good watch.
Thank you for that. I'm so glad that my high school years are behind me because just that was just a very timely reminder that high schoolers are dicks. But That being said, no, it's a lot. No, it is a fun one. I'm glad you threw it out there. Thank you for the rec. That's a good one. So the next one, my next recommendation is a movie from 1946. It's called The Spiral Staircase. Uh,
Oh, I've heard of that.
yep. So Zach Cherry, who's a friend of the show, I have been trying to get him to watch this movie for months, and as far as I know, I have not succeeded yet. But I'm still continuing to push this. Uh, well, okay. So let me just talk about it briefly. So it takes place in Vermont in 1906. There is a serial killer terrorizing the town, and he's going around murdering women who are either blind or deaf or have some sort of other uh, physical quote unquote impairment, or so he thinks. So uh, a nice young woman who is mute thinks that perhaps it would be best if she leaves town. Good for her. So she goes back to the house where she works as a companion for the elderly lady who owns the house. That was being a paid companion was a thing for a long, long, long time, especially back then. So, especially for young women who were not yet married off and needed to support themselves, and so she goes back to pack her bags and gets caught up in the drama amongst the house guest and the various staff there. And it soon becomes apparent that the killer may just be one of the people in the house.
Hmm.
And there are very few actual kill scenes, but the movie is really short and it's really briskly paced, and it works like a charm. And the reason I specifically have been trying to get Zach to watch this is because he loves giallo movies. Giallos are like the Italian slashers, especially in the 70s and the 80s. They're very gory, but there's lots of like stylistic techniques that they use that this movie actually seems to have invented some of them, because I can't actually think of any other uh, movies prior to this where they did like for instance, like the killer is hiding in the closet, and the way you know that is because there's like a big close up on his eye as he's like staring at his victim from inside the closet. And uh it's really, really, really creepy when they do it in this movie, and you can see that was like the origin of that trope being used so often in giallo films like Dario Argento and such in the 70s. But this is a really sweet, snappy, creepy little thriller. I think it's less than 90 minutes, and it's really, really, really good. So again, Spiral Staircase, 1946.
Um, I've heard of that movie, so that may be I have never seen it.
Mhm.
So I'll have to look that one up as well. I like that I'm learning about all these movies, and like I'm gonna have to make a new list to watch, so it's not always the same thing.
Likewise.
My
Hope
next
everyone out there is enjoying it too.
my next movie I want to talk about is something it's probably not well known at all. It's a straight to video movie called House of Fears.
Okay.
I love this movie. You can tell that it's a straight to video movie that was made with care. I don't know if it was always meant for straight to video. Some of it feels like it was always, but it's made with care. Like you know how those it has Sandra McCoy from Cry Wolf in it. Jared Padalecki, who was dating her at the time, makes a cameo in the movie in the party scene. There's another girl who was in one of those. Did you ever hear? You remember those movies to die for? Like movie fest they would put out in theaters. She was in one called Unrest. Her name's Corey English. I really enjoy her. There was this guy Corey Sever. They all had like little careers on TV and stuff.
Hmm.
So it's about two stepsisters who don't get along, and they get invited to the popular stepsister gets invited by her boyfriend and his friends to go break into a haunted house, like not like an attraction, because he works there, and the dad said, "Well, you need to bring." They don't know. They think they're just going for the night, like it's open, but it's not. Um, so the dad makes the girl bring her stepsister, and it turns out like the boyfriend's like tired of her, so they switch dates, and it pisses like it's the 2000s. Anyway, they start going through the haunted house, and previously this person who owns the haunted house also loves antiques was on like and it bought this thing off somebody who was at an architect where you dig stuff up. Why am I losing my brain?
Archaeologist,
I can art yeah bought
an
where they dug
archaeologist.
they dug up this totem, and it actually brings your fears to life. So she has it in the haunted house as like part of the attraction. So everything that they're scared of manifests itself, kind of like House of Waxworks from the 80s. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Of course, USA Up All Night. Yes, of
Oh
course I
yes, I love that.
have.
It's very much that, but the 2000s. It's creepy. Like there's a scene where this clown is in this like he's not a clown. It's like a guy in white makeup. That's loose in this fake graveyard, and it's very creepy. He's like a serial killer. Um, and there's a scene where this miner that looks like it's from My Bloody Valentine stalks and kills one guy. There's a mirror room with the guy that's in the graveyard is like in the mirror room with them, and it's shot very well, and it's very creepy. The vibe of it's just really good. Like I love like the small town look where they're just like having a house, but they're having fun. And they're like, we're gonna go to this haunted house, and then it's like something I love to do. I love to go to a haunted house. Like I love to go, and they sneak into it, and they're having fun. Then all of a sudden, crap stuff goes down, and then like it's just like it's a hide and seek kind of like survive the night kind of feel. And it has a good ending. It's very, and you lose people you really like in the movie, and it's a typical bonding of the stepsisters kind of movie. But even though all that's kind of cliched, there is care done in it, and there's people that you can recognize if you've seen. So I don't, it's not just a movie made to just be a straight to video movie. And it could have went to theaters somewhere. It does have a feel like it has some sort of budget. But it's fun. Like I love to put on a movie that's like it knows it's quirky. It knows that it's kind of hokey. It knows that it's low budget and it makes do with it. It's just a lot of fun, and I suggest a lot more people watch it.
Awesome. What was this one called again?
House of Fears. It came out
House
in
of
like
Fears.
2000 and I should have looked this up before 2007. And if you're a Jared Padalecki fan, he's in it for 2 seconds.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you for that. All right, House of Fears. Excellent. Okay, so the next couple of ones are going to be a little more famous. So,
I know my few are going to be famous now
my
too.
next two are going to be like, yeah, they're not they're a little bit less obscure. So the next one is going to be that I'm picking is going to be The Ring,
Uh,
but the original Japanese version, not the
oh,
American remake.
Ringu.
Ringu, yes. Yes, from 1998. I think it's much better. I think it's really good. It's really creepy, and is less like hit you over the head, like with all the symbolism that the American remake does. So go. I mean, also it's just such a classic premise. Like it, literally because isn't there literally the idea of that there is a videotape out there that is so scary that the person watching it gets scared to death? I mean, isn't that really kind of like riding the edge of like why we watch these movies in the first place? The idea that it might freak us out so badly.
That we die.
Yeah.
They used to advertise movies like that, like you can't even make it through it.
Yeah,
Um, I miss that feeling. I don't really get that feeling
right.
anymore, but I
Exactly.
remember being in
Yes.
high school getting that feeling
Mhm.
in movies.
This is why there are some people who do not want to watch scary movies. They're really that afraid of them. I get it. And like so just to take that concept but run with it and make it and in a way that it really makes sense and it really works and is really scary. Mwah, perfect. So had to throw in one J horror. I didn't have to, but I wanted to throw one J horror in there. That's my pick.
I mean, it was a. I really will say that that was a big, and I know I never thought I would reach a time in life where things were so huge in one era of my life, but nobody's going to remember that. Like, they will, but you had to be there. Like, the newer generation, I could be wrong, is not going to understand that there was a time for a good amount of time that Japanese horror was the big rage in America. Like, it was like the teens, we had The Grudge, we had The Ring, we had Dark Water, we had what
Hmm.
there's all kind of ones that they remade, like it was the thing to remake. What, like One Missed Call.
Hmm.
There's
There's also another one I don't think it's ever been remade called Audition.
oh, I remember that being a big. That was I never saw it because I remember
Once was enough for me.
yeah, I don't really like torture porn. That's why I didn't really. I don't
Yeah,
like.
exactly. Neither do I. That's why I was just like, no, no thanks.
But there's also Pulse, which I actually really like Pulse with
All right.
Kristen. But is that everything about Ringu?
Hmm.
Ringu had a moment too, the remake as well, but Ringu had a moment here. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I thought the original was really good and creepy and better than the remake. So go Ring You, go check that out. 1998.
I've actually seen Ringu and I watched it when I first joined the Patreon, and I enjoyed it. Like I thought the atmosphere was more horror than the remake. The remake feels more like thriller, in my opinion.
Yep.
Still very
Yes.
scary. Um, but it's just a different feel. It feels more like a horror movie than the new one's really pretty and dark. And so my next one is going to be it's a really high profile one, but Freddy versus Jason. I have a thing for I love, okay, this is why. I think Freddy vs. Jason captures the feel of the originals in my era. A lot of my stuff, because it's informed nostalgia. I have to say, it's what makes me feel happy and what makes me feel safe and makes me feel like I don't know, happy. Um, Me and my best friends loved horror movies growing up, and we loved Freddy vs. Jason. I love Catherine Isabel from Ginger Snaps. I think she does a really good job in this movie. I love Monica Keena in this movie. I loved her on Dawson's Creek, so I love her in this movie. I think she's a great final girl for that series, and I feel like it's one of the better in both series. Now, I am not a big stan of either one of those film series, so saying that this one's great, even though I know people think it's horrible. There's a lore of this movie in my high school too. People couldn't wait for it, and so it was like a big anticipation. I got to see it. Actually, my mom took me to see it, so thanks, mom, because I know that she's on into that stuff. Um, I just loved every bit of it. I thought it was a ride, like the cornfield party where they set it on fire. I love the extended opening with all the teens at the house. I think that feel it. They dressed and acted like what we did, and I was the same age as those teens when that movie came out, if not a little younger. And I recognized almost everybody in the movie. Like, Monica Keena was from Dawson's Creek that I love. Catherine Isabel I already was a fan of Ginger Snaps by that time. I was a big fan of her. I noticed some of I mean, Kelly Rowland in in Destiny's Child, and has that iconic, what kind of, wears a Christmas sweater. I just think it's good, and I think it's a thrill ride, and I like the soundtrack. So there's nothing, I don't have any faults in it because I'm not a huge fan of that. Like I don't nitpick that. So it was a great time. I still love to watch it. I can quote it. It's a great movie, in my opinion.
Good. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoy the movie. I do not, but I adore Monica Keena. So love to her always.
Yeah,
Um,
she's great.
yes, yes, she is. She's an absolute doll. So, um, uh, so let's see. My next one is also going to be is going to be a biggie. But I love me a good haunted house movie, and for the life of me, there's no haunted house movie I like better than Poltergeist. So,
I mean, I'm gonna say this. And not this to your thing.
oh
I've
wait, actually, that may not be true. That may not be true, but it is my sentimental childhood favorite. So I'll go with that. Yes.
Poltergeist, to me, the older I've gotten, I got to see it in theaters a couple of years ago, because they brought it back to theaters in my local in my town. I think Poltergeist is probably one of the best horror movies ever made. Like it's still scary to me. It's
Yep.
one of the only ones that still scares me, and
That fucking
don't-
clown.
all of it though, like the way that they take the American home. And I remember when America felt like, this is not political, when
Go
society
ahead.
felt like that movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like I remember that it really does. Like I love a movie that captures, like it's a time capsule, but it still feels like, everybody was running around, like the family, like it felt like what how I grew up, even though it was made way before I was born, but and it's always been there in the background. It was a movie that started coming on HBO and we were not allowed to watch because it was too scary, and I remember it being so scary. Um, but I think that's probably one of the most iconic, if not the best, horror movie, that it's so rewatchable as well and scary at the same time.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. It's like it's like, yeah, it's like a roller coaster ride, but um it's not, well, mostly not mean spirited. I would say that I would say for most of the way, um like it's very like just even as scary as it is, and it is really scary. It's actually mostly warm-hearted.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of that has to do with Steven Spielberg's involvement, because he was always a very um just general, his movies had a general like sense of like like kind-hearted, optimistic American style about it, in like the most well-intentioned way possible.
Hmm.
I will say that Tobe Hooper, who is credited as the director, though it's unclear how much of he's actually involved, I would say that the final section of the movie, where the house and the American dream is swallowed up, that was probably his doing, since this is the guy who did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and had a much more cynical and critical look on American life than Spielberg does.
Hmm.
So, but that being said, uh, it's like the rare horror film that's genuinely scary, but that you can take home to mom.
Right. Well, that's what I think, that's a great partnership. Like you can tell. I mean, you can feel with the theme, the music, and everything that it's a Steven Spielberg production. Like
Yeah.
it makes so much sense as an adult. And I think probably Toby Hooper directed a lot of the horror scenes that were like the where the guy's peeling off his face
Oh my god.
and all that, like that. But they worked well together. I think, and I don't think there's anything, not that we're saying anything's wrong with it. It's not.
Mhm.
I love, they could both have credit and be iconic, because when you collaborate, you can make something great. It doesn't have to be one person gets all the credit. Like I've learned that too with the job I have now. Like collaboration makes things great. Working together makes things great. Like it would be really boring if I was sitting here talking, because we're like collaborating as well about what we like, because you have a totally different, like, this is not a knock on me or anything, but you have a more prestigious list than I do. But I think talking about both of these is fantastic. Like you really do. You have one that like it transcends time. You have movies that and mine are more about feeling, which I enjoy both.
Awesome. Yeah, no, and I love that. I love that. I do. I love that. I love that we have different lists. We have different tastes. I love it. I love sharing that with you and sharing that with like everybody with who's watching. So, what's your next pick?
I know, like I was like, which one I wanted to pick next. It was a more obscure one, and why is it leaving my head?
Didn't you
Um,
write these down?
no, I had it in my head, and
I
then
didn't. I didn't either. I didn't
I
either.
had them. I was writing them down, and then I fell
I'm just
asleep.
winging it.
No, I made a list in my head, and then I was like, no, that's not a horror movie. I don't want to do that one. Oh yeah, all right. Night of the Demons is from the '80s, not the remake. Sorry, Monica, if you know
Okay.
it's in the remake.
Okay. I've never seen this, so good. Tell
Okay.
me about it.
Night of the Demons. I don't care if it's trash, because it is '80s trash, but it's the best kind of '80s trash. Like it's low budget, but the camera can hide that from the '80s. Like because it's made like a '70s movie, but it has '80s like attitude and fashion, very '80s. So It's again a theme of like House of Fears. Like these teens are all going to the Halloween dance, but this girl that's like she's very whiny and she's dressed as Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Or is it Dorothy? It's Alice. It's Alice. Um, she is whiny. I don't really care for the final girl until she becomes the final girl. But
Hmm.
Angela, and she's kind of iconic. There's sequels to this movie.
Hmm.
She's kind of iconic. Like she's gonna break into the old Hill House or whatever that's like haunted, and it, like her and her friend, and she's like, let's. Her friend wearing pink. I don't even know what she's supposed to be. She's like, I wanna like have to invite the boys or whatever. It's so silly. Anyway, they go to this party at that haunted thing, and the girl's mad because she wanted to go to the dance, and the guy just wants
She's
to
big
like,
mad, is she?
yeah, and he wants to hook up with her, and she won't hook up with him, so he goes and. But anyway, so basically, they enter this house that used to be a funeral home as well, and they set something loose, kind of like House on Haunted Hill.
Hmm.
And these demons come out, and oh, that's right, they want to have a seance, and they look into a mirror, and it releases it. And then all these demons start possessing them, kind of like Evil Dead, and running amok in the house. And like time doesn't really matter anymore because they're stuck there, like they can't leave until daylight or when Halloween's over. And all of this doesn't sound that fun, and but it is very brutal, but in a hokey way. And it's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of quotes in it. There's a lot, it's just so silly. I grew up watching this movie though, because I have a lot of older cousins I hang out with. So I saw a lot of these kind of movies that were very popular in the 80s. And like we watched this series called Subspecies. That's kind of this low quality but fun kind of vampire movies. But Night of the Demons, it's a great movie. I cannot name you who's in it. Um, Actually, somebody famous plays the son in it. Let me look at it. But it's from the 80s. It still comes on a lot of and it's on Amazon.
Hmm.
I watched it already this season. It's from 1988, so it came out the year I was born, so that's probably why I love it so much. And Kathy the guy Donnie Jeffcoat plays Billy.
Okay.
He plays the little brother, and he was the boy. He's not famous. He was the boyfriend in Wish Upon a Star with Katherine Hagel and Danielle Harris, who Danielle Harris is a horror icon, and this was a millennial iconic movie, Wish Upon a Star. It was our version of Freaky Friday. So I'm just
Oh,
saying.
yes.
Just saying.
Oh, I love that.
All right,
Okay. All right. So we've each got five now. So we're gonna what? We're gonna do 10 each.
sure.
All right, cool. I thought that was the goal. That was the goal. Okay. So the next one that I'm gonna pick. So because amazingly, when I said Poltergeist is my favorite haunted house horror movie ever, like it is in a sentimental level, but no, that made me want to think of some other ones. So I'm gonna go out there. So then my next pick is a movie called The Innocents. That is okay. So it's innocent, but with an S at the end. So it's like innocent plural. 1961, and this is a haunted house, but also a psychological thriller. It's about a young British woman who is hired to be a governess for two children whose dad is incredibly rich but doesn't have the time or the interest in watching over his own children. So as you do. So as he does, he hires a woman to look after them, and uh shortly after arriving, she starts to suspect that the two children, who one of whom was recently discharged from his boarding school for bad behavior, that they may be being haunted or influenced by uh, demonic spirits on the property. Except it's never really clear whether the house is haunted or if it's just a figment of their imagination. And it's kind of a mystery to find out whether or not the ghosts are real. The lead is Deborah Carr, She's like the biggest name in the movie. She's a was a British actress. I think she was like nominated for 6 Oscars or something like that, but never won. Something along those lines. I'm not sure, but she's the lead and she's the governess who is tasked with watching babysitting these kids who may or may not be being stalked by these ghosts on the property. So I guess it's up to you to decide whether or not they're real.
That's that sounds like The Haunting of Bly Manor. That TV miniseries. I enjoyed that.
Hmm. Maybe it is. I haven't seen that. Recommend it?
I love that. Like it's what's his name? Mike Flanagan.
Okay.
Um
All right.
no, I don't know which one to talk about next because I have some. There's one I do want to talk about. There's two versions of this movie, and I like the one that's not very good better. All right, there's two movies. I want to give recognition to both, but I'm going to talk about one more because I like it better.
Okay.
Two movies came out around the same year. One of them is called Hellfest, and one of them is called Haunt. They're both about people going to a haunted house that has a killer in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like Hellfest better. It was the more mainstream one. Haunt was as independent, but it got like a lot of talk and it was in theaters too. Um, but they both have the same premise. One of them is more Hellfest is a more like festival type haunted houses going on where there's a killer that he just chooses to go to this like and pretend to be and then kill people. There's no rhyme or reason. He shows him getting ready and he goes and at the end of the movie he goes back home like nothing to his children and he just killed a bunch of people. And that scared the shit out of me kind of because the haunt's
Mm.
not like that. Haunt's a bunch of people in this haunted house that's off in the middle of nowhere and they go to it and they're the only ones there and they take their phones. I like that movie. That's scary too, but I think it's weird like they were at this haunted house and it's very mainstream, but there's these murders going on and no one's really noticing because it's like one at a time and kind of off the beaten path. But in this main festival of Halloween, like it's, I enjoy it. Like I know it got panned a lot, but it came out like in 2018, I think, um, and I enjoyed it so much. It was a lot of fun. The main girl in it's not really known. There's one girl that plays like the nerdy. She plays the nerdy friend. Well, she's not nerdy. She's kind of like too cool for school. She's from the Screams TV show. She had the short hair. Um, it's good. Like I know that it's hard to talk. Like I enjoy that movie. It puts me in a great mood every time I watch it. To be like, ooh, I'm ready for something spooky and fun. Haunt is just as good. It's just less rewatchable to me because it's kind of in mean spirited. It's very mean spirited, like torture-y kind of thing. And Hellfest
Yeah.
is more fun geared. They're very similar movies. Um, but I found that afterwards I was kind of scared of Hellfest because like the killers, you don't ever really know who the killer is. You just
Mm.
know like his background, and that scared me because like that I'm sure there's people like that just go out and cause mayhem because they want to and they want, um, and then they go back to their little boring lives.
Mm. Cool. Okay, so Hellfest is the one you're recommending. So I will thank you. I will jot that down as well. I appreciate that. All right, good. So the next movie on my list is Terrifier. I'm kidding. I
I actually really like the first one, and the second one's good too. The third one, I was like, I can't watch this; it's too
the
gross. But
amount of there is not enough money in the world that you could pay me to get me to watch that. Sorry, not doing it.
you've never seen it?
Nope. And I will not do it. It is no it, that is like that is just that's just a sick. I've read the synopsis. It's effing sick. I don't need that shit in my life.
The first
Uh
half of the original is actually a scary, good movie, and then it turns gross. So,
yeah, I don't need that. Yeah, I'm not a gore hound, so that can fuck off. I do want to talk about Sinners though. I
ah,
do. I want to mention
interesting.
Sinners. I know. We've talked about this. I don't think it's particularly scary. I think it telegraphs a lot of its twists and puts it jump scares like way too ahead of time. That seems to be more and more common these days. Like I don't ever know what happens that like it's like the lost art of like building suspense. But it is so beautifully made. It is
Mhm.
so gorgeous. Like it is just there's like like it Ryan Coogler is so gifted. There's just like a shine on everything. It's just like it's just so beautiful to watch. Even though it's like even though it goes on too long, like the allegory about racism and about like how America's sins still live on today, and and affect African Americans today. Um, it's really, really like that's really what like like the kind that's what good horror movies are supposed to do. I think one of the reasons that there's so much powerful political and social commentary in horror movies is because it's considered such a disreputable genre that most people don't take it seriously, and because most people don't take it seriously, it's easier or at least more possible to sneak really important powerful themes in there. And
Mhm.
so um it's beautifully filmed. Michael B. Jordan is in a dual role is great. Um, Great, like Delroy Lindo is always a treat. Good cast, beautiful dancing and choreography and music and cinematography. And for those of you who still haven't seen it, it came out this year and it was very heavily talked about. But the final scene has an absolute knockout of a cameo from a real life blues legend that actually made my jaw drop when I watched it for the first time. I won't reveal who it is in case anybody's interested in watching it if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I'm throwing Sinners in there.
I think that's a great choice. It's a
Thank you.
I haven't watched it to get into the mood yet, but I have seen it 3 times, and I have it. My opinion of it hasn't waned. It actually got better. So it is an iconic movie to me. The fact that I want to rewatch it, like, and I enjoy the rewatch, and I sit and watch it, because that's something that I'm losing a lot when I go see movies. I don't get to like get that feel. I want to rewatch it. And it's a long
All right.
movie, and like I watched it in theaters, had a
It
blast. I
is.
watched it here for one of my friends' birthday. They wanted that's what they wanted. I cooked and we watched that movie, and then I watched it just cause not that long ago, and I had a good time. Um, the next movie I have, it's about to be a really big movie. Actually, I'm gonna talk about this one. They're both well known, and they're both in the same franchise, so it's gonna get very cliche here in a moment. Halloween 6. I watch it most every Halloween season because I think it's fun. It's the first Halloween I ever saw, and
Okay.
my cousins rented it, and I had never seen a Halloween, and it was at a Halloween party that we were watching it, and I had a great time. And I still think it's so silly, but it's just done so well, and it feels scary. It feels like Halloween. It reminds me so much of being a kid at my parents' Halloween party with my older cousins watching a scary movie I had no business watching and loving every bit of it. So that's why I love it. Is it a good movie? Is it confusing? I mean, it's a fine movie, but it is pure nostalgia for me, and I think it's easy to follow, and it's an easy rewatch. So it's a no-brainer to me to say yeah. I
Good.
mean,
I'm
it has
glad.
Paul Rudd in it. It has Paul Rudd in it, and he's extremely attractive in it. And it's the last movie with Dr. Loomis as a character in it,
Hmm.
and it's like a big soap opera going on with like blood and like this thorn bullshit that
Hmm.
kind of the older I get, I was like, this is an interesting concept that is done so poorly that it makes it even a little bit more interesting to me. So Halloween 6.
Oh, good. If you weren't going to bring up that cutie Paul Rudd, I certainly was.
Hmm.
So, absolutely, absolutely. No, yeah, okay, yeah. So good. I'm glad you enjoy that. Um,
I love the way I'm glad you enjoy that.
no, exactly. It's like I love that for you. No, I mean, of course, no, of course. I mean, like, listen, just because I think it sucks. Like, if like, obviously, I'm a staunch cinephile. I'm real, like, I take pride in my cinematic knowledge. Obviously, I think I'm almost always right. But that being said, like, you get old enough and you realize that not everyone is going to always think the same way you do. So if somebody else likes something that you think is absolute trash, let them enjoy things. Like Yeah, unless it's like overtly pushing like racist or like misogynistic or like homophobic like angles, like yeah, let them have their fun. So, um, yeah, go yes, yeah, pop off, sis. So
Queen.
yes, so what? So that was okay. So number eight, or I'm at number eight now. So I'm gonna going back to the vampire well for a second. You know, neither one of the ones I think are like the ultimate vampire masterpiece, but I love the original Fright Night
Oh yeah.
from 1985. I think it's basically Dracula 80s style, but it's like, and it's dated. The main character is kind of a douche, but uh but it's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's so time stamped, but it's really fun. Um, Roddy McDowell as the Van Helsing character is so great and so funny, and Chris Sarandon is so smooth and so sexy and evil as the vampire, and the makeup and practical effects are great. They are great. So, despite some of the more dated elements, it's a really, really fun time, and I always get a kick out of it.
I love how the company.
1985, 1985. Yep, Tom Holland, not the actor Tom Holland, who is like who's like the internet's straight boyfriend, but Tom Holland, who directed the original Child's Play, directed this movie as well. So, Fright Night, 85.
I didn't realize that. Um, I saw Fright Night for the first time a couple of years ago, and I had a lot of fun watching it. I love how, if you have really short hair when you become a vampire, you have really long hair and a detractible mouth.
Oh my God, that's right, and she was Marcy on Married with Children.
Yes, like
Amanda
I was
Pierce.
obsessed. Um, I that movie was way better than I thought it was going to be because I had never seen it, and I know that sometimes when you see movies like that, when you're an adult and you don't have the nostalgic feel for it, but it's a great movie.
Mhm.
It's a fun movie to watch.
Yes.
Um, my next movie is a more modern movie. It's well known. House of Wax, starring Paris Hilton. I love Jared Padalecki.
Yep.
He's also uh I love that movie. I think it's just brutal enough and fun. So it blends kind of the 90s teen feel with the 2000s mean-spirited that we went through.
Mhm.
I don't I like the playful like let's go through the House of Wax and like slowly get taunted. I love that Paris Hilton in it and famous Jet Jackson is in it.
Who?
Um, the guy that played the famous Jet Jackson is in it. I think so. Is that him? Um, he was on Disney. I know that. Or no, he was cousin. Was it Cousin Skeeter? Let's see. House of Wax. Sorry, guys. I don't think it was Cousin Skeeter. Sorry. It's Robert Blake. Cousin Skeeter was Cousin Skeeter. He played the non-puppet in Cousin Skeeter.
Okay.
Um, It wasn't the famous Jet Jackson, sorry. But Paris Hilton's in it, Jared Padalecki, Chad Michael Murray, everybody that was on the WB basically at the time. And what's her name? That was in The Girl Next Door. This was supposed to be.
Alicia Cuthbert.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
think
funny
she's a great.
movie. I think that's a funny
Yeah,
movie.
I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
And she was in 24, that TV show. So they were all in hit TV
Yep.
shows. Um,
24.
So I just think it's a great movie. I think it's a great finale. I think it has great chase scenes. I think it's just brutal enough to make you wince and you don't want to watch the screen. Um, I think the story is cool. It calls me back to even though it's not a remake of Waxworks and it doesn't really have any similar.
Mhm.
It's just a good movie to me. I think I had a big crush on Jared Padalecki, and he's one of the reasons I watched it as a teen. And even though
He's so
his character's
tall.
annoying,
He's
he
just
is
so
so
tall.
I love tall people. I mean, I'm tall, so I'm 6'1", so it's fine.
Mhm. Yeah, I know.
But I I don't know. I just love it. I don't know. It's like I think it's a
Me and
great
my
movie.
little 5'9" ass over here.
Oh, I
Uh,
didn't know you were 5'9". That's still not
mhm,
short.
mhm.
But
It's not short.
I love it. I love that they attempt backstory, like Paris Hilton's character is pregnant, and Alicia Cuthbert wants to be a fashion star, and the twin brother, is mad because she sold him out because he was doing illegal shit, and he's trying to be a bad guy, but he's not really a bad guy. And Jared Padalecki is just like, I'm just trying to marry this girl and like make sure everything's okay. And then there's the random guy from Scary Movie, John Abrams, that's just like, I'm just here, shit, like.
Oh my God, John Abrams.
Um,
Forgetting. I keep forgetting every time I see him pop up. It's like, oh my God, there he is.
and there's
Ah,
just these twins that were combined by they're Siamese twins, and they got disconnected. I just think it's enough wildness, and it tries to like um be in the real world, but it's still wacky enough where it's a good time. And I think
mhm.
it has that Dark Castle feel, and I enjoy it. I think it's a really great movie to rewatch, and it puts me in the it it feels cold, like not in a bad way. Like it feels like there's a crisp of cold air outside in the movie, and it puts me in the mood for this time.
There you go. I love it. Yeah, no, it's awesome. All right, so two down. We've got two more to go. All right, I was kind of vacillating on. I mean, I know what my last movie's going to be because obviously, but so for my next one, I was kind of vacillating on which ones to go with, and I decided on Drag Me to Hell. I really,
Oh, it's a fun movie.
I really think it's a lot of fun. Sam Raimi, 2009. Um, and I just, it's weird. Some of his other horror films, especially like the first Evil Dead, which I know made his bones, and obviously because he has like a really unique like style, and it was clear from that film. But that movie was like so gory and nasty, and also I felt like kind of misogynistic that I think it's easy to accuse him of being mean spirited. And I get it. Not this time though. I think this movie is just fun as hell. And in fact, when watching it, as the movie goes on, I mean, it's basic. Okay, so it's for those of you who haven't seen it, it's about a bank loan officer played by Alison Lohman, who, because she's trying to
Great actress.
yeah, she is a really good actress. She's trying to impress her boss into getting a promotion, and in order to do that, she declines to grant this old gypsy woman a third extension on her mortgage. Um, and as a result of that, the old woman curses her and subjects her to 72 hours of all sorts of supernatural torment unless she can figure out a way to break the curse or she gets the title treatment. And it is just what is so amazing about the movie to me watching it is I could literally feel the writers going, how ridiculous can we make this movie and still get people to jump out of their seat? And that's literally how I felt watching it. I was like, okay, so we have possessed handkerchiefs. We have like we have eyes popping out of desserts. And we have a demonic goat who hisses and calls people whores. And despite all of that ridiculousness, um, Sam Raimi is such a whiz at building suspense that it still gets my heart pounding. Even as the most ridiculous like things come out popping out of the screen, he still gets you to jump out of your seat, and it is amazing. I love that movie. I think it's such a great time.
I agree. That was a big. I hate that it's not like talked about as much now, but that was a big movie when it came out.
Mhm.
And I remember everybody wanted to see it, and it is scary. Like the scene where the old lady throws up on her, and and then like at the end when she goes gets her anyway at the train station. I think that
Spoiler alert!
it's
Spoiler
also
alert!
oh sorry, it's also kind of scary. Like it's suspenseful and scary. It's a good movie to me.
Yes, yes, it is. All right,
So we only have two left. So I'm gonna
you've only
save
got
the
two
last
left.
one. That's my favorite. Um, shoot, which I have a few, and I want to make sure I don't. My last one is my most. I watch it every Halloween, and it's my favorite of the series, so I want to wait. Um, so my next to last one to talk about is um, you go. Can you go again? Because I got to think about this.
Ah, all right.
Please.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So, all right, I'll throw out a few honorable mentions then in this case. So,
Yeah, do an honorable because
I'll
I'm
do a couple of
thinking on.
honorable mentions while you cogitate your next one. So, the it's funny. Like, I've never even thought to mention like Scream in any way because like that's one of our things. Is like we love that series so much, and it is a great horror series. But since we talk about it so much, I figured I would like not focus on that and go in another direction because I could just watch that movie any time of the year. Um, so actually, I'll pick a couple of some honorable mentions. Stop me when you're ready. So one is it's the only horror movie ever made for children that I can think of, at least overtly, and that's The Witches. I
I
love
love
that movie. I love that movie. I grew up on that movie. Um, and I never really thought of it as horror until
It's
my
horrific
brother
though.
until my brother pointed out that it was. He hates horror films, but he watches it. I mean, it's expressly made for directly for kids. But and I remember the day that I went to buy it because I own it. I was just like, I looked for it in the fantasy section and I couldn't find it. And the guy behind the counter was like, "No, it's in the horror section." I was like, "Okay," because
That
it
is a
is.
scary movie.
It is. Roald Dahl wrote a nightmare book for children, and they made it into a scary movie for kids, and it's great. And Angelica Houston, I stand her so hard.
Iconic.
She's so fabulous. She's like I honestly think she may be one of the most underrated actresses ever, which is weird because she has an Oscar, but but even still I feel like she had an amazing career for a while, but I feel like she still could have gotten more should have gotten more work. But she's so fabulous as the evil Grand High Witch of the world, who wants to murder all the like it's freaking she wants to murder all the children in the world. Like that's as like dark as it gets. So yeah, so yes, that's a good one. Um,
I'm
the
ready
original.
if you're. Oh, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
No, the original what? Are you going to mention another
I was
movie?
gonna say the original Alien. Love it.
That's a very haunted house kind of movie, but in
It
space.
is a
Like I
very
feel.
it is a very it's haunted house in space. Yes,
Um,
1979. Ridley Scott. Um,
Ridley
like
Scott
maybe
rules.
Ridley Scott rules. Maybe I don't know if it's the very first feminist horror film, but it's certainly kind of exploded that and opened up that path and made Ripley one of the first original and maybe best final girl ever. So
I mean, she is really iconic. Like I enjoy that movie. I enjoy it
yeah.
more than the Aliens. So
Oh, I love
I would.
Aliens too. I love Aliens as well.
But
I love both those movies. But that the second one, it's less. The second one is less overtly horror and more action oriented. So they're just
Yeah.
different. But I love Aliens too.
My next one, and I forgot I had it on my list, and I was probably it's supposed to be lower, but it's fine. Um,
Hmm.
Darkness Falls from 2003 with Emma Caulfield.
Oh, Anya. All right.
I
Shout out to
really
Emma
love.
Caulfield.
I love Emma Caulfield. She is a great leading lady, and she is. I rewatch Buffy all the time. There's a channel on Amazon Prime,
No.
which and that you can. It just ran. It is not in order. They just show episodes like it's like season one to season seven. Like it's just and it's showing the Halloween episodes a lot. So I do love me Buffy season two episode Halloween and
You like
um,
Buffy? Why?
it's a good show. But no, Darkness Falls is really nostalgic to me. I saw it in theaters again with my parents. They loved me enough
Okay.
to take me to see these movies they didn't want to see. I think they secretly love horror movies though and took me because they wanted to see them. But me and my friends would rewatch it, and we thought it was so scary. And I do find that the Tooth Fairy in the movie is scary. She's flying around. And I really enjoy the cast. I love Emma Caulfield and the guy that he's dead now. That's the main star. I thought he did a good job.
Oh.
Um, and I think that movie is scary. I know people. It's really generally considered a short, horrible movie. Um, but I think it's well. I think it's well made. I think it's pretty to watch, and it has a very creepy atmosphere. And again, it feels like it's cold outside when you watch it, and it feels like that old witch because like it turns really the Tooth Fairy into this old demonic lady that comes back to kill kids like Freddy because they killed her because they lied about what she did.
Mm.
So Darkness Falls, Emma Caulfield, 2003. If you want to watch a short but fun, um, kind of good chase scenes because she's like flying through the air and they have to stay in the light. I think it's great. It's a great little short movie that people
It
think is
is.
terrible, but I think it's good.
Good. Good.
Plus, you get to
Awesome.
see Anya in a different role, in a much
I know.
meeker.
Yes, that's awesome. All right. And so my final pick, because I'm going to be super basic, is OG Halloween.
Boo.
I
So
know,
bang.
super basic, but I mean, it pretty
It's
much
iconic.
just, it's iconic, pretty much just cornered the market. Hate the fact that he kills the dog, but it's John Carpenter at the peak of his powers and really understanding how that movie, which was basically just a work for hire, just set the template and influenced so many slasher films moving forward. So, and we wouldn't
It
have
really,
Scream without it. So,
and I think the movie, obviously, it's named Halloween. I think it also shaped what Halloween was for America or like after that, like the small town feel that people. It Halloween does create that feeling of what Halloween felt like. I think for my parents and my older cousins and me, like we were all outside, we were all running around the town, we were all going to strangers' houses, and when you make that scary, like it's scary. Like I know that we do trunk or treats now, and it's less about being, but literally in my town, and like that was 20 years after Halloween came out. Or 10 years after I was born. And so, yeah, 20 years. We were still running around town doing that, but there was a fear about it, like, especially when you learned about Michael Myers. And even though the movie is filmed in California, I it feels like my hometown with palm trees. But they did a good job.
they did an amazing job. It is. It's true. It feels so everyday and so lived in and so like not glamorous and uh and not even Hollywoodish. It feels just so average, and that's what's so creepy
Relatable.
and relatable and iconic about it. And I had recently watched it a couple of years ago after having not seen it in years, and I was really surprised at how basic and simple it is. The movie like has almost no plot. It barely even has a script, and yet somehow, just through cinematography and music, uh, he created this like indelible masterpiece of fear. It's just amazing to watch it. Just how simple and yet effective it is. It's just incredible.
I actually think that that shows like simple but good filmmaking is iconic. Like, because I mean, I still don't get tired of that movie. Do I watch it less and
Yeah.
less? I watch it every Halloween. And this kind of leads me to my last movie. It's going to be like a sister thing. My favorite movie to watch on Halloween, I do it every time. I actually watch both of them. Halloween 2. I'm going to be basic. Halloween 2 is my favorite Halloween in general.
Okay.
And I think
Oh
it's
yes. Yeah.
um, I think it's scarier than the original Halloween, only because, again, our show is called Inform Nostalgia, and I relate everything back to me because I am a Gemini and everything's about me. But um, no, like I'm a nurse and I work in the hospital. I've worked many holidays as the only nurse on pediatrics. We don't do that anymore. But people are like, I know people have reviewed this movie recently. I mean, Zach and all them, they talk about how unbelievable Halloween 2 is, and I actually don't find it that unbelievable. I mean, obviously people would be there sooner, but think about it in the 70s, and um, it's a holiday skeleton crew. Like I've been the only nurse on my unit before with a tag taking care of patients, and that was in the 2010s. This is 1978. Like even though it came out in 1981.
Mhm.
I think it's really believable that you would have a minimal staff, and if somebody in the 70s in a small town hospital got loose, they could kill somebody one by one. And it captures the feel of what it feels like to be in an empty type hospital in the middle of the night at work. The movie scared me enough as a kid. It was the first Halloween movie I ever saw, or second Halloween movie I ever saw, sorry. It was the first Halloween movie I ever owned. Um, I saw Halloween 6 first, and then many years later, I and my grandmother would let me go to when we went to the mall to Sam Goodies, and they had it on sale, and I had enough allowance money I could buy Halloween 2. So I did. So I saw Halloween 2 before Halloween 1.
Okay.
Um, I saw Scream 2 before Scream 1, so I have a pattern.
So
But
there's
I
this
just find it
general theme
scary.
here.
Yeah, but I find it scary, like especially in a new way since since 2010 when I became a nurse, I watch it in a different way that's a little bit scarier to me. I also like the cast a lot. Like it's a little bit of a bigger cast maybe, or like a core cast that's a little
Hmm.
bit closer in one area. And I don't know what else. Like I think there's creative deaths in it. I love the stalker scene where the girl's on the phone and they're talking about like she goes, "That's just right down the street," and then Michael pops up and kills her. That's a fear I had as a kid. When I was home alone, and I'm a millennial, and we were like latchkey kids. I was home alone a lot in my early teens, and sometimes on Halloween. Not really. We had Halloween parties, but that feeling after dark, after everybody's gone and your parents went to bed, like it felt. I would sneak and watch these movies as well on AMC. I just think Halloween 2 is a perfect movie to watch on Halloween because it's really spooky and it's really. It also doesn't have it doesn't have what I keep saying, that cold, crisp layer. It actually feels like what it. The both Halloween movies make me feel like when you go into your grandma's house or whoever's house from like the 90s or 2000s and the heater's on and it's cold outside. They give
Yeah,
me
I
that.
love that feeling.
Yeah.
I do. I love that feeling. Halloween 2 is a little bit gory for me, so I don't quite feel the same way about it. But I love, but yeah, like the crisp fall feeling. Yeah, like like the warm heater in the house while it's cold outside. Yeah, I understand. It feels cozy. It's like I don't want to even leave the house. Um,
Yeah.
but I love that. I love that. No, and I totally get that why it's your favorite because I mean, again, you're a nurse, you relate to it. Have you ever been dumb enough to watch the movie on like on the clock? Just been.
No, no. I don't watch
D-
movies all at work.
Does it seem like right? Of course. Does it seem? No, I don't either. But like, does it seem realistic to you?
Scream? Oh, yeah, Scream. Sorry. Halloween
Halloween
2.
2,
Yes.
Halloween 2. Yeah, it does. Okay, so like just being like being a nurse on
Now,
the skeleton
now, now.
staff,
Like the What did you ask? I'm sorry.
like being a nurse on the skeleton staff, like on skeleton crew, it feels like
Yeah,
realistic
I
to you.
mean,
The whole
literally, I'm
atmosphere.
gonna paint a picture for you. I worked on the third floor pediatrics, and there was a abandoned unit in front of us because we didn't use there wasn't enough population to even have that unit, so they just closed it, and we still don't use it. It gets used as an overflow unit when you have too many patients on one part of the hospital. They put
Mhm.
patients over there. So I would work in a closed unit, locked behind an empty unit. And a lot of times, if we had four patients or less, which pediatrics goes through those spells, I would be the only nurse on the floor working with a tech, and my tech would go smoke. Um, and you're not allowed to smoke on property, so she'd have to leave for like 10 minutes and go smoke. So I would be the only person on that floor with my patient. So if someone wanted to mess with me and sneak
Mhm.
in, um, or if they had access and they had access and come up the back way and could scan their badge, they could murder me and nobody would find me for a while.
Mm.
And there's no extra people in the hospital at night, and especially holidays. So they wouldn't get as far as Michael Myers in the movie, but if they killed certain people in certain areas, it would be a while before they found somebody. Um, there's
Well,
more. There's more people around now, But even, and I've only been a nurse 15 years. I worked at the hospital 16 years. In that short amount of time, it's changed a lot. But in my early career, you could have really messed with me, or the way the hospital did. And that's a really short amount of time of change. Um, it's not totally believable, but could it happen in the 70s? Absolutely. I think all of that is kind of believable in the way, because we just think of the short time frame that we have changed. Just think they probably it would have been even less staff than they probably had in the movie. Except it was an ER and an inpatient
Mhm.
unit, so probably and honestly, two nurses for all those babies, very believable for back then. So
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm never setting foot in a hospital in a small town, but
no, it's different now, I'm sure, but in the 70s, I
I'm
think that
just
that's actually
teasing.
quite believable.
I'm just
That's what made it
teasing.
scary to me. Um,
I hear you. No, I get it. I hear you. Well, that makes 10 for each of us. So thank you for sharing your
yeah,
list. That was awesome. I'm
cannot wait to
glad.
watch your list.
Yeah, I likewise. I can't wait to watch like Christie and Hellfest and all these other unearthed gems that I'd like never heard of or potential gems in the waiting. Like I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Um,
and I'm so excited
so
for Halloween tomorrow or today. I'm so
me
excited. Happy
too.
Halloween, everybody.
Yes, happy Halloween. I'm not dressed up now, but I will be tomorrow. So, thank you all for stopping by and watching again. I know it's been a while, but we're planning to be back on the reg again. And so, Garrison and I really appreciate you. We hope you all have a really good spooky night and enjoy these movie recommendations for future Halloween, for future fall
Yeah,
seasons, or just anytime you want to watch them. Really, if you're in the mood.
and leave comments about what's your favorite one that we mentioned, like or ones that you've seen, or your favorite ones. Go ahead and leave a comment. And I
Please
guess
like
we'll
and
see you
subscribe.
later. Happy
Yes.
Halloween. Yes, like
Happy
and subscribe. Happy
Halloween.
Halloween.